Stop letting money control your peace. Does thinking about money feel heavier than it should? Do you find yourself checking your bank account more often than you need to? Comparing your income to other people? Worrying about problems that haven't happened yet? If so, you're not alone. Money affects nearly every part of modern life. It influences where we live, what we eat, how we spend our time, and how secure we feel about the future. But somewhere along the way, many people stop managing money and start letting money manage them. The problem isn't always a lack of money. Sometimes the problem is the anxiety that surrounds it, the constant checking, the constant worrying, the constant feeling that something bad is waiting just around the corner. Many people think they have a money problem when they actually have an anxiety problem. Because anxiety has a way of convincing us that every uncertainty is an emergency. Every expense becomes a threat. Every setback becomes a disaster. Every unknown becomes something to fear. But uncertainty is not the same thing as danger, and worrying is not the same thing as preparing. Think about how often people check financial accounts. Sometimes multiple times a day. Not because anything has changed, but because the mind is searching for reassurance. Unfortunately, reassurance rarely lasts. The cycle simply starts again. Then comes the doom scrolling. Economic headlines, market predictions, recession warnings, financial influencers telling you that you're behind. Your brain absorbs all of it and slowly begins treating uncertainty like a permanent emergency. The result is exhaustion. Not because you're physically doing more, but because your mind never gets permission to rest. And then there is comparison. One of the fastest ways to destroy financial peace. Someone buys a bigger house. Someone takes a luxury vacation. Someone gets a promotion. Someone posts a highlight reel of their life online. And suddenly your own progress feels smaller. Even when you're doing just fine. The truth is that comparison is built on incomplete information. You see their results, you don't see their debt. You see their success, you don't see their struggles. You see a moment, you don't see the entire story. Someone else's paycheck does not determine your value. Someone else's timeline does not determine your future. Someone else's success is not proof of your failure. So what can you control? You can control your habits. You can control your effort. You can control your learning. You can control your spending decisions. You can control your preparation. What you cannot control is the entire economy. You cannot control market fluctuations. You cannot control other people's income. You cannot control every possible future outcome. Peace begins when we stop fighting for control over everything and start focusing on what is actually within our reach. That doesn't mean ignoring financial realities. It means responding to them calmly, instead of reacting to them fearfully. It means making plans without living in panic. It means preparing without obsessing. It means caring without carrying the weight of the entire world on your shoulders. So today, ask yourself a simple question. What if you're doing better than you think? What if progress is happening even when it feels slow? What if your future is not as fragile as your anxiety wants you to believe? Your value is not determined by a number on a screen. Your worth is not tied to your income. And your peace should never be held hostage by uncertainty. Money matters, but your mental well-being matters too. Protect both, build both. And remember that financial peace begins in the mind long before it appears in the numbers. If this message helped you, take a moment to reflect on one thing you're doing right financially today. Small steps still matter, progress still matters, and so do you. Like and subscribe for more.